Hey, hey, y'all. I'm glad you are back with us for another fun doodle. This one is going to be super quick, super easy. All right. And it's also fun for kids and adults, but but we're gearing it towards the kids, but adults, you'll have fun with this one too. So let's go over our supplies really quickly. We have got just a sketchbook, a watercolor sketchbook, or a mixed media sketchbook. The reason it's not a plain sketchbook with just regular paper in it or sketching paper is because we're adding water to this. If all you want to do is do crayons and colored pencils and such, you can have any kind of sketchbook. But if you're going to be adding water to it like we are with turning our markers into paint or using watercolors, or later in the week with our adults we'll be using acrylic paint. If you're using that heavy, anything that requires you to dip your brush into water and then to put it on the paper with watercolor or acrylic paint, you need a paper that's a little heavier. You're going to get that with a watercolor pad or with a mixed media pad. Okay, so that's why I'm using a watercolor pad for today. I'm using Crayola Super Tip markers. All right, so let's go over the colors that I'm using. Like I've said before, sometimes it's easier just to get those colors out and have them right there instead of all the colors everywhere. So I'm going to get out for my for the petals here. I'm using a yellow, an orange, and a red. So we're going to be using 3 colors on each petal. And on the inside here, I'm using a light brown, a dark brown, and a little bit of black. Okay, so these are the colors that I'm using. If you want to go ahead and pull those out. Again, these are Crayola Super Tips. On this example, I used a thin black pen. I love this pen. But for the kids, I'm thinking I'm going to actually instead swap to a Sharpie marker today because it has a little bit more of a bold outline. Okay, so we've got our Sharpie marker and some sort of a pencil to sketch with. And that is going to be it. All right, so let's swap out our booklets here. And we are going to get started, y'all. I'm not kidding when I say this one is quick. Okay, this one does not take long at all. So first up, let's see, I'm trying to make sure I'm all in the camera. First up, we're going to do kind of a half circle over here on the side of our page. So it's going to be kind of like this. My pencil is very dull. So I've got that half circle. I'm going to pull this up so you can see. Okay, we're going to end up with 4 petals. You might have more, you might have less. How many ever you have is A-okay. I'm going to take the first petal and it's going to kind of be going off the page so you don't see it as much. So it's going to start here and kind of curve that way. A little bit of a curve. And you just don't see the rest. Okay, the rest is kind of up here and off the page. The next one is going to consist of 2 lines, okay? So the first line is going to start here. It's going to come up and out. It's kind of pointing towards that top corner. Just one line. Take it one line at a time. And then after you get that one line up there, we're going to do the second line, but I want you to be mindful of where it ends, okay? So it's going to be a line that comes in like this, but it's going to end down here on this circle. It is not going to end coming back to here, okay? So that's one mistake that sometimes kids can make, or adults. If you make it coming back to here for this particular flower, it's going to look like you could just pluck that right on off, like it's about to fall off, like it's just attached by a little bitty connection point. So we don't want that. So this line, watch, is going to come in and down, and it hits right there. That makes it look a little more full too. So 2 lines, just watch where you end that second line. The next one's going to be the same thing. So you see here how we kind of went up and down. It almost looks like a slide, sort of. It goes over a roller coaster or something, up and down. And the other one just comes down. We're going to do that same motion on the next petal, but it's going to be pointing a different way. So this is going up and kind of pointing towards this top corner. This next one is going to come down and out and kind of be pointing kind of down that way. And then again, I'm going to bring it back, and it's not going to end here. It's going to end about right there. Okay. So here we go. Coming back. if you are doing this with us today, drop a comment there so we can see it and just say, you know, we're following along or something so that I can see who's actually working with us. I know sometimes y'all just watch and then do it later, and that's fine too. Let me know in the comments. Are you just watching or are you doing it? All right, next up, we're going to start here, and it's going to be the same thing like this one off the page. This is coming off the page. And that is your drawing. Excuse me. Good morning, Teresa. Glad you're here. Now, once you are done with the pencil line, Talia says, doing it. You're on a roll this morning. I already saw your good drawing that you sent earlier. Sam is doing it and painting later. Awesome. All right. So with our Sharpie, or for you adults who are doing it, if you want to use your little pen and just do it sketchy lines, you can totally use that. I'm going to first just trace, but I'm going to kind of double and triple trace with my Sharpie. Ashley says, creating along with you. Lisa Joe says, watching because I came late, was busy drawing. Totally fine. All right, so here we go. We're going to kind of do multiple outlines here. Now, this is all you have to do. If you want to take it up a notch on the fancy factor, you can do some little lines, kind of like what we just did with our adults, with just little lines and then medium lines and then a little bit longer lines on the edge. Okay, now that's a little bit harder. So if you are one of our younger kids today joining with us, you do not have to try this. Okay, this is a little bit harder, but it's an easy way to challenge those of you who maybe want a little bit of a challenge. Okay, so it's just little lines, medium lines, longer lines right up here at the base. And again, this looks really good with a smaller pen as well. I'm just using the Sharpie because that's a little bit easier for kiddos. Okay, so this right here, please, 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 kids, if you're doing this, do not think that you have to do this part. Okay, it can be hard, I know. If you just get this drawing on and then double and triple trace those petals, you are good to go. Okay, the little lines is a little extra bump for some of y'all who might be who might just be a little bit older, want to try something new. Okay, all right. Ivy says, catching up, moving to Prattville in 2 weeks. Yay. My daughter is excited to come to the studio. Awesome. I don't know if you've checked out our camps, but we've got lots of camps at the studio every single week. I mean, some of them are full, but we do have camps every single week. So be sure to check those out. We would love it. Lisa Joe says, I love how you are so free with your sketching. I'm starting to take those risks too. Hey, when it's in a book like this, it's like, just be free with it. Just have fun with it. And, you know, if you don't like it, you just flip the page. Okay. No big deal. No big deal. All right. So that's our drawing. Now let's do our super easy, super fun adding our color. Okay. I mean, this is real quick and easy. Take your yellow. With using the side, we're going to scribble some yellow at the tips of our petals. We're not trying to color it in solid. Got it? Yellow, scribble, done. Next, orange. Okay, if you are working along with me and I feel like I'm going too fast, remember, you can just watch. You don't have to be at the same pace. You can say, okay, I'm stopping this and I'm just going to watch. Because after you watch, it's going to be in your head. It doesn't take, it's not much, and then you can just do it. Okay, so anybody that feels like you can't keep up or I'm going too fast, there's two things. One, know it's on replay so you can rewatch and pause. But two, you can watch it and then do it later. And that's often a little better technique, in my opinion. Just how, that's how I consume tutorials anyway. I like to watch, and maybe they'll stop and then do it, but I very rarely try to do it at the same time because I miss things by looking up and down. All right, so here's my yellow, or you can be working along with us. Just don't feel the pressure to be at the same spot that I'm at. That's all I'm trying to say. I don't ever want anybody to feel pressured when doing art. Just have fun with it. All right, so then I scribbled on my orange. Come in the red right here at the base, just a little bit of red. I am using the side of my marker. If I use the tip sometimes, it's almost like it makes a little bit harsher of a line that seems to not turn into watercolor as easily. Like you can still see the line a lot more. All right, in the center, I've got my light brown. This is the light brown that I'll scribble. Then I move into the dark brown. Scribble. Then I move into the black. And the black, I'm not doing much, but just on the edge. Just a little scribble. All right, so we have taken those Crayola markers and we have scribbled all over our watercolor page. Next up, it is time to add the water. Now, the place that you start is important. So I'm going to start with my yellow every single time. So I'm going to start with my yellow and then move to the orange and then to the red. And then I'm going to clean that brush. Start with the yellow. This is a small brush. I'll probably need a bigger brush. Then move to the orange. And then to the red. The reason you don't do it the other way around is because the red and the orange are really powerful. And if you were to start here and move out, it would probably cover that yellow up completely to where you couldn't see the yellow. You couldn't see the variation of color. Okay, so that's why we start with the lightest. We'll start with the light yellow. Move to that orange. A bigger brush would mean I don't have to go back and keep dipping it in my water as much. I just have this smaller brush that I was using earlier. And then the red. Isn't it so fun? So fun. Okay. Next up, yellow. Orange and red. Pretty. And then we're going to start with the lightest color. Remember, just go in some circles and then move out to the darker color. And then be careful with this black because you don't want to get the black into the petals. You just want it on the center. You're just going in little bitty circles, and you're gonna keep this dark color, this black on the rim. Don't pull it to the center necessarily. Well, you could go like that, but some they do have that, but you just don't want the whole thing to look like one shade of color. Okay. And there you have it. A fun flower, quick and easy. I told y'all this was going to be a very simple, very quick drawing today. And it's just fun. Now, if you want to if you have an art space, you could do some splatters on here for the background. But I really think it's pretty just as is. So that is it, y'all. That is it for today's doodle. It is 12 minutes. Okay. A super quick, super easy draw, add your marker, your permanent marker, and then your washable markers and turn them into watercolor. And once you do one, do another one with different color combinations, maybe with purples and blues. Design different types of petals. You can even put more back here in the background if you wanted to. Okay, so just have fun with it. I love seeing what y'all are doing. Remember, all this week you can send us a text of what you're doing to be entered to win. On Friday, we will announce some winners. 1-334-249-1818 is our text. And also, if you have kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, kids that you babysit, whatever, that would like more art instruction, we have our Kids Club membership. It's not always open, but it is open right now for the summer that you can join. And inside of those, we have longer lessons than 10 minutes, but we go a little bit deeper to where we're using different supplies. We learn about different famous artists. There are printouts that you can print it out and just have it with the kids. They can see what their project is and the steps for it. There's a fun little I did it poster that they can either put in their binder. If they're part of our Kids Club Plus program, we send them a binder and they can put their I did it checklist in there so they can see what pictures are coming up and get excited about it and check it off the list that they've done it. It's just a fun program. So if you have a kid in between 5 and 12 that you think would love this, or multiple kids, one membership is all you need per household. We do have that open now, and the link is up in the description. So let us know if you're interested in that. In the meantime, get to doodling and send us your picture so that we can draw some fun winners on Friday. All right, y'all, that's it for now. I will see y'all tomorrow. See ya, see ya.